Saying also involved with the booty tickling activity, I really don't know. I really don't know. There hasn't been much evidence against Diddy for me to say, yeah, he's a booty tickler himself. But Busta Rhymes, you gotta do better, my boy. Let's hop right into it. Make sure you guys do leave a like down below and subscribe. Let's get it, yeah.
They call them fun boys. They said we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope.
Hey, yo. So when I walk across the street to the crowd, I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just hold it. So I look, you know, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. Just diamonds iced out. I look at the chain and I know what flip mode is, so I look up. And all this happening in split seconds. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
If Busta ever tried to film me, if you just put up the lane, so what you saying, yo? Should have put that on nothing but the killer, yo. I could be better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes, yo.
Not Busta Rhymes getting exposed as a super zest monster.
What?
And listen, those are his bodyguard's words, not mine.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh, yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh, yeah. Super zest monster.
So, apparently, Busta Rhymes is going viral after a former bodyguard spilled the beans.
Super Zest Monster is an insane title, bro.
Claiming Busta made some seriously strange requests about young men in his VIP club section, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. The Orlando Brown is out here.
What's going on, everybody? So in this video, when it comes to Diddy, guys, you know, there's a lot, man. Basically, man, Diddy is the fall guy, you know. I believe personally that you know, they are going to Epstein him, and what that means is not what most people think, because most people think that Epstein unalived himself, you know. That was the official narrative, but that's not actually what happened to Epstein. You know, what actually happened to Epstein is he faked his death, you know, and so I think Diddy is also going to be Epstein. In other words, Diddy can fake his death, you know what I'm saying, and he's the fall guy. And then, you know, after he so-called dies, you know, the spotlight will be off of him now, because supposedly he's DiDDY, you know. And then just like after Epstein, that was it. That was the end of the story, you know. But it goes deeper than just Diddy, no Diddy, you know, because it's more than, you know, Diddy being happy. You know, he's a child predator, and so are a lot of other celebrities in the industry are child predators. You know, one of the children that are the victims, you know, is a celebrity, you know, which is Justin Bieber, you know. But there's a lot involved in this case, from, you know, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Busta Rhymes, Usher, you know what I mean? It's a lot of, the rabbit hole goes deep, you know, to political characters. You know, a lot of politicians been to the Diddy parties, including Obama and all of them, you know what I'm saying? So if this whole thing really gets exposed like it's supposed to be exposed, you know, a lot of people are going to go down. But we already know, man, there's government officials involved in this child trafficking as well, you know. But there's people who have a lot of money who are just trying to really unalive Diddy in jail right now, you know, and that's why Diddy's not eating in his jail cell, because he knows that they're trying to poison him, because these people with money who are also involved, who are also, you know, part of this child trafficking. Since Diddy's going down, Diddy is going to talk and spill the names of these other individuals, to help himself, and that's why these people, are trying to use their money to access him, through the prison and pay certain prison officials, to poison his meals and stuff like that, man. So they're really trying to unalive him, but at the end of the day, man, he's probably just going to skate off, to an island with his money, and fake his death. Like I said, man, just like Epstein did. But most people think Epstein is dead right now, you know. But if this thing really gets exposed, like I said, man, Jay-Z is supposed to be going down, Beyonce, Rihanna, probably Kanye West, Obama. Obama's not going down, you know what I mean, because he's an antichrist. Obama, that's, Obama's position for these end times, so I don't think this whole thing is going to get exposed like it should get exposed, but, because a lot of people are going to go down. Jennifer Lopez is going to go down. She has a huge connection with Diddy, Usher, and you know what? I don't think Justin Bieber is a predator at all. Although we know, some who were victims, of child predators when they were younger. They grow up to be child predators themselves. But I don't know, man. I just don't really see that in Justin. But I see a lot of fear in Justin, a lot of, stress, man. So even though you got a lot of money, he has all the money in the world. That don't mean, you don't have stress and you don't have fear because of the connections and the people who have access to him, and, these, industry insiders, man, they know that they could be unalived any minute, man. They could be a blood sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think, Diddy's just going to basically fake his death, man, and pay off, whatever judges and everything like that, man, just, to make that the narrative, the official story. He died in jail, he committed SUI, side. Guys, I gotta be careful with the words because apparently I can't even spell them out, man, because one of my last videos, man, I was spelling out, FLTERTH, you know what I'm saying? And they still put up a thing, on the video trying to debunk it, But without further ado, man, let me just keep playing this video, man. Basically, it's my first time seeing this, but I'm just reacting to it, I guess. But yeah, man, the whole industry is wicked, man, and what they have to do, man, is really give their soul, to the devil, man. They really have to sell out, as in, homo acts and stuff like that, man.
Alleging that Busta is one of the many DL rappers who turned him out. And now, on top of this, 50 Cent has also chimed in, throwing not-so-subtle hints about Busta's secret lifestyle. And now, on top of all that, a bunch of men are stepping into the spotlight, sharing their own stories about how Busta allegedly made inappropriate advances and tried to get them to party with him. But let's get real for a second. This isn't just about their orientation. It's about these DL men in the industry acting all tough in public while putting their hands on people. All because they're too scared to live their truth.
But if you notice, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section.
It seems like everyone in the industry has been whispering about Busta's escapades for ages. But now it's all coming out into the open. But what exactly did Orlando Brown and 50 Cent reveal?
I'm not gonna lie, look, if you want to be a gay gangster, Go ahead. Nobody's telling you that you can't be a gay gangster, my boy. But it's when people like that use their power in order to tickle another man's butt against his will. There are so many incidences where these up-and-coming celebrities are getting, manhandled simply because someone like P. Diddy or Busta Rhymes has a little bit more power. That's called a gatekeeper. Right? Let's continue.
About Busta. Did Busta actually do something inappropriate to young men? Let's break it all down. You know that back in 2006, Busta Rhymes made headlines after screaming a homophobic slur at a male fan who approached him. According to the New York Post, the fan came up to Busta and tapped him on the shoulder to congratulate him on his recent comeback. But Busta went off on him and then turned to his bodyguard saying, "I hate effing F-word, man." And get this, when Busta was asked back in 2007 about homophobia in the rap community, he said that because of what he represents culturally, he doesn't condone homosexuality whatsoever. When asked if the hip-hop culture would ever accept a gay rapper, Busta got up and left the interview. Fast forward to now, and it turns out that Busta Rhymes might be yet another rapper hiding his true identity while taking out his frustrations on others. But let's be clear, this isn't just about Busta allegedly being into men, because at the end of the day, that's his business. The real shame is him allegedly being into men while also being self-hating and putting his hands on women and male ex-workers he allegedly hires. You know it's the hypocrisy for me. But let's rewind a bit back to the early 2000s when these whispers about Busta preferences first started making headlines. And you know who was the brave soul spilling this hot tea? None other than Wendy Williams. So what exactly did Wendy reveal to him?
For those of you who don't know, when it comes to Williams, man, they unalived her already, man. But you guys could check out the Master's Voice Prophecy blog, YouTube channel for that. I think it was in her Jennifer Lopez video that she just did that she gave us that knowledge, through the power of the Holy Spirit, man, that Wendy Williams is unalived. And nobody knows, but she been unalived for a while now. The last thing I remember about Wendy Williams is that there's like some symbology that she was doing, basically symbolizing how the Statue of Liberty was going to be falling in that coming New York City tsunami, that's coming in the future. But we just don't know when it's going to happen. But it's probably going to happen, whenever Putin or Russia, or whoever decides to, nuke the sea right on the coast of NYC, and New York City, and I believe most of the East Coast is going to be underwater. So when that nuke goes off in the ocean over there, so just follow God, man, do what he wants you to do, man. But that was one of the reasons why I left the East Coast. Just one of the reasons.
Wendy exposed the so-called homo thugs.
We come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which...
You hear someone like this, someone who grew up in that generation of rap. Nowadays, the gay rappers are deadly gay. Lil Uzi says it. Wearing tight dresses and purses. Like, the rappers of this generation are open about their homosexuality. But the rappers of her generation weren't. So hearing her talk about it and say, or I heard Wendy Williams was a transgender her damn self, so I really don't even know at this point. But hearing this person talk...
Yeah, a lot of these people are actually trans, and she definitely could be one, Joan Rivers died for exposing Michelle as Michael. Serena Williams, I believe, is possibly one. You know what I'm saying? Yes, crazy demonic world, man, where it's a lot of witchcraft going on, and it's a lot of dudes, pretending to be females, man.
Talk about it.
It's pretty interesting, huh?
Talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now.
So word on the street is that back in the day, Wendy Williams had an entire list of rappers who were on the DL, and she would have people call into her show to spill all the scandalous details about their encounters with these rappers. And guess whose name allegedly made that infamous list? None other than Busta Rhymes. One time, a man reportedly called into Wendy's show and claimed that Busta punched him in the face right after he got down on his knees for Busta. But that's not all. The caller claimed that Busta told him to keep his mouth shut about their encounter, which supposedly took place at a club in NYC, where rappers would go to have these types of encounters with gay men. Even though Busta allegedly pulled some serious strings to get the recording wiped from the internet, Wendy's OG fans remember this episode very well. Now, let's not forget that Wendy was also one of the first to publicly discuss Diddy's rumored DL lifestyle, and she even had receipts to back it up. However, when Diddy heard Wendy had a photo of him with another man, he reportedly got Wendy fired from Hot 97 and practically chased her out of New York, forcing her to find work in Philadelphia.
When she put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on, he got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing that he said nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is gonna do anything with y'all, no business at all. It ain't gonna be no artist, no nothing. He's telling people at a radio station. That's crazy. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station. Wow. That's the power he had.
By the way, Jaguar Wright also recently pointed out that Wendy Williams was the first one to call out Diddy and his fellow homo thugs in the industry.
Shout out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these down low bitches was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
And then what's the stuff that's happening with Wendy Williams? You think this is all connection too?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket ready.
And allegedly, this is the reason why Busta Rhymes and Diddy developed such a close friendship. Word on the street is they had a lot in common, with some sources even claiming they allegedly shared young men with each other. Sure, now that Diddy is facing a federal investigation, Busta has distanced himself from him. However, it's a known fact they were...
A couple other names, that I believe are suspect are... definitely Rick Ross and definitely Birdman. And maybe, possibly even Fat Joe.
Close for years.
But I don't know about Fat Joe. I don't think so.
Going all the way back to the 90s. Here's a very happy-looking Busta hanging out with Diddy, J-Lo, Aaliyah, Hype Williams, and a bunch of other industry faces. And here's Busta with Diddy.
But also Eminem and Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is definitely, that way. I'm pretty sure Eminem had to give it up. Yeah, this thing is for real, guys. In the industry, you really, what I mean? Like, that's the path of Satan. You know what I mean? The number 2 hole, is the path of Satan. It's the way of Satan. And you got to go to these Hollywood industry type parties, like, you know, Diddy parties and stuff like that, man. And you gotta give it up, man, to have a successful Hollywood career or music career, you know. And you know, many of us known this for years, you know, how wicked and satanic the industry is.
And his former BFF Jay-Z. Or how about this photo of Diddy looking like he wants to eat Busta, literally. And let's not forget that Busta was hanging out with Diddy and praising him as recently as September 2023, just weeks before Cassie dropped her bombshell lawsuit.
This is the father of the joint venture deals, the label deals, the production deals. This is the father. I'll keep it up. Big up Dallas Austin because he pulled us all up. But when he did it, it was the complete shift toward the cloud. You've never seen it before, the same way. There's been a lot of greatness after, but they added to the floor of the skyscraper and the designer's foundation.
You know, just because these people got a lot of money, man, they get away with a lot of stuff, you know. Money buys them time in a lot of ways, you know, but when it's time for the Lord's judgment to be upon them, for them to get exposed, their money won't save them. DJ Khaled is another one who was like that.
Now going back to what Jaguar Wright said about Wendy Williams exposing homo thugs, the reason she called them this is that they weren't just gay and on the DL, but they allegedly used intimidation tactics and physical violence against anyone who dared to speak on their secret lifestyle. Not only that, but both Diddy and Busta Rhymes have a long track record of getting physical with both women and men and taking out their anger on those they know won't hit them back. Busta's disturbing history of legal drama started back in 2006 when he allegedly attacked a man for spitting on his car. Later that year, prosecutors tried to nail Busta for possession of a weapon in the same incident. And according to Billboard, they claimed he had a whole machete in his vehicle. Fast forward to 2007, and Busta was back in hot water. He got arrested and charged with a misdemeanor for allegedly putting his hands on his former driver over money issues. Busta eventually pleaded guilty to both charges and got slapped with 3 years probation. And just when you thought it was over.
I'm not gonna lie, if someone spit in my car, I'm gonna have to fight him too. I'm not gonna lie. If I find out that my driver is stealing money from me, I'm gonna have to fight him too. Those are reasonable charges.
Over in 2009, the New York Post dished that Busta had to cough up $75,000 to a fan. This fan claimed Busta threw multiple water bottles at him, and his bodyguard punched him in the face. Apparently, the only reason Busta attacked this man was because he tried to leave Busta's concert. The man later told the New York Post that he had hoped to see Fabulous perform, but since Fabulous didn't show up, the man said he stood up so he could leave as soon as Busta left the stage. However, Busta told him to get down and asked, "I'm not good for you?" The man said Busta then splashed him with 1 bottle of water and threw 2 more at him before one of Busta's bodyguards punched him. So again, it makes perfect sense why Busta was friends with Diddy all these years. But besides their anger issues, another thing Busta and Diddy allegedly have in common is their taste for much younger men. In fact, according to Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, Busta would regularly send his entourage to find young hot men and bring them to his VIP section in the club. Big Homie CC recently set the internet ablaze with his appearance on The Art of Dialogue when he boldly called Busta a super zest monster and dished on all the juicy details of what Busta was allegedly up to with young men back in the day. According to Big Homie, this has been an open secret in the industry for years, and everyone in the know, especially the club promoters, had the lowdown on Busta's preferences. Word is, if Busta was coming to a party, the promoters knew they had to line up some hot young men to bring to his VIP section to keep him entertained.
I've seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
Some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, we gotta break some of
So yeah,
we
I'm not
gotta
really
bring
gonna
some, what they call them.
watch, the other 17 minutes or whatever of this. I think it's been enough already. So I'm just going to cut it at this point right now, guys. But yeah, man, this video will be, Busta Rhymes, Diddy, many other names, you guys already know, but, I believe that, Diddy is going to fake his death, since, these governments are involved in it already and all that too, even though for some reason they got to make it look like, they're putting him in jail and stuff like that, but when Diddy fakes his death, man, just like Epstein did, man, he's probably just going to skate off into his own little island somewhere, and never be seen again. You know what I mean? So, and that'll be the end of the story, you know what I mean? But the mission right here, guys, is for us, to keep the pressure on the industry, continue exposing the entire industry, as well as these politicians who are also involved. The man goes all the way to the top of the pyramid, man. They are wicked. They do satanic rituals, blood sacrifices, and children are involved. They are, molesting children, raping children, and then they are blood sacrificing them to Moloch and Satan. So this is the truth. The industry is wicked. The governments of the world are wicked. This world is wicked, man. But the average, person, who works a 9-to-5 job, they don't realize how wicked these people with a lot of money are. You know what I mean? But may the Lord's will be done, man, and continue to expose, Satan's agenda and what's really going on in the world, bro. And may the Lord Jesus Christ will be done. Until that day, on Judgment Day. Hallelujah.
That's a lie, because according to language, basically, he was wondering why